Yeah, headlines are there's a couple different types. They're the ones that are in the ads themselves,
Mhm.
that are very, very important and critical because the more clickable the ads are, the lower the cost per click on average will be. So it's really important to have super compelling ads, ad
Right.
creatives, and the headlines.
Welcome to Clicks and Bricks Podcast. We talk about the entrepreneur mindset.
If you get one shot at this, what kind of shot are you going to take?
If we forget who we are, they're going to forget who you are.
You've got an adversity story that's out of this world.
Everything from that Main Street brick and mortar to that billion-dollar manufacturer.
Evan, thank you for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you. Before we jump in to learn about your business, can you introduce yourself to the audience a little bit about where you're from and your background?
Sure. My name is Evan Weber. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I grew up down here in South Florida. Lived here my whole life. Been, a few places, but primarily lived here. Let's see. I've been in the digital marketing industry for over 20 years. I have a long, illustrious career, and many, accomplishments, and helping a lot of companies get ahead and achieve what they want to achieve. That's kind of my specialty, is helping other companies grow through digital marketing and other ways. But my main expertise is digital marketing, online advertising, things of that nature. Like we were saying before, I was with a successful startup early on in my career in the early 2000s. Then I moved on to found my agency in 2007. I still have my agency now. I've worked with over 300 companies, mostly e-commerce, but B2B as well as B2C. And I just recently launched a software or a tool that I'm very excited about bringing to the world and to companies that need it. And that's pretty much the rundown.
Awesome. And your company that you have a new startup that you're working on.
Yeah.
At the moment, right? Can you tell us what that is and when did that kind of come to fruition?
Yeah, so it's called Publisher Finders. It's a tool that helps brands and companies, mostly e-commerce, but any company could use it, that wants to grow their affiliate program. They want to find affiliates, what they call publishers, web publishers, bloggers, influencers, other companies they might want to partner with on an affiliate basis where they reciprocally pay each other for driving each other revenue or leads. So it's a tool that helps companies find more of those type of partnerships and affiliates, bring them on board. So I've been working on that a couple of years. I launched it a few months ago, and it's going well. One thing I'm understanding about launching a tool or a software is just the minutia of it all, and just everything that goes into actually creating a thing like this. I've helped a lot of companies market their own tool in the past, but I was never really on the building of the product side. So that's another skill set I've added to my toolbox. Now I know how to go about creating a software or a tool, the development process, and how to make that go as well and as cost effectively as possible.
Right.
So now I can help other companies do that. Other people do that. When we talk about how to help other entrepreneurs get into the game, that's one of the ways, creating your own tool or software, which we can get into, in the conversation. I'd be happy to talk about that.
I'd love to talk about that, because I think there's a lot of people in the world that want to create an app or a program and they don't have any idea how to start. So I'd love to go down that path a little bit in a few minutes. So what was the name of the company again?
Publisherfinders.com.
Publisherfinders.com. And let me just kind of summarize. So one of the ways for the audience to understand that we make money at Clicks and Bricks is occasionally I'll recommend a book, and I'll have an affiliate program with that author, and we'll put the link at the bottom. And if you watch the episode and you go buy the book, then I get like a penny or something.
I was going to say 30%, but
it depends on the book, right? A lot of the books that I promote, like Mark Cuban's got the book, If I Can Do It, Anybody Can, or You Can Too, or something like that. And he charges $1 for it, right? I think it's a great book. It's motivational. Right. So I do a lot of those Who Moved My Cheese, like these little, $5 and $10 books.
Amazon doesn't pay very much to their affiliates. If you're an Amazon affiliate. You'll maybe get 1% on products and like 4% on books or something like that. They really lowered it. which is why companies go directly to the brands or the companies to try to affiliate with them. Right. When it can get dicey is when, you're signed up for 50 affiliate programs and then you're getting checks from 50 different companies you're driving sales for, which is why a lot of people will join networks like CJ, Impact, Share a Sale. There are others that, you can get all the biggest brands in one network, in one affiliate network. So that's advantageous to, if I have a blog or a website. And now the drawback is they don't have a lot of business oriented programs, right, to affiliate with. It's mostly consumer oriented, D2C, B2C, whatever you want to call it, products oriented. There are business to business affiliate program, and that's actually caught on a lot in the last couple of years. It's actually making a, massive splash, as of this year and last year, B2B affiliate programs. So that's coming on strong. So basically you're referring clicks to websites like tools, SaaS, cloud, softwares, and you're getting a percentage of the monthly revenue. So it's good also because it's residual revenue. It's monthly recurring as long as they stay on board as a client. So people out there can look to become an affiliate. They call them publishers also. It's kind of like a other term for it. They can become an affiliate publisher of various tools or SaaS companies, SaaS tools that, they can share on LinkedIn, on Twitter. If they have a business audience, then they click the link, they sign up, you make the commission. So, it's a nice way to earn extra revenue, but it's all dependent on how much traffic you can actually drive through those links and how well the traffic converts once it gets to the website. Let me not leave that out. That's highly important. But it's a volume game. You have to be able to drive traffic. If you have an email list, if you have a social following, various audiences, you can market to the audiences with the promos, links, whatever, and try to generate extra revenue. And if it actually catches on and you start doing well with it, then you can start blogging and start really making advertising with your link, buying Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, different platforms. You can actually buy the ads, drive it through the link, and make the spread if there is a profit.
There is a spread.
If there is a spread, right? But there are ways to do that. I don't recommend you go blowing a bunch of money trying that concept, trying to make that work. I call that arbitraging affiliate offers. But there's definitely monetization you can do with affiliate offers. Any way you slice it, it's possible.
Right. Yeah. I find, and let me know your opinion here, affiliate marketing, I think, is a great residual kind of passive income. I don't recommend it ever for your main source of income because you can't defend your position. The companies can make a change and you lose all your
cut you off. They
can cut you off, which is a potential lawsuit, or they can go out of business, right? You don't have any stake in the game, so it's really hard to defend your position. I never recommend it as this is a business you should go do. But if you're already posting on, Pinterest and Facebook and Instagram, I think you're leaving money on the table, not being having some kind of affiliate program that you're doing. If you're doing a podcast or a show or anything along those lines, I think it's a necessity to have it built into.
And one real easy way to do it is one of those, like a link tree in your Instagram profile, your different profiles, Twitter profile. You put a link tree, or there's a link to is another one, link.to. I believe it is. Shopify launched that recently, where the influencer or the individual with the social page can link there from the profile, and then from there they link to all their affiliate clicks. Click here for health insurance, click here for life insurance, click here to an auto loan, whatever it may be. Click here to shop at Macy's. So it could be any number of different things they're affiliating with, companies they're affiliating with. But that's a way, because people don't monetize their profile description. You know what I mean? But that's a way they can actually monetize their profile, because you can't put a link in the IG posts. Now you can put links in the stories now. So they are letting you, they're opening it up. There's more places to put a link and share the link. So once you know all of your shareable, link opportunities, then you can get into a rhythm with okay, every Monday I'm going to post this, every Tuesday this, every Saturday this. And like you said, it's now where it can become passive. I tell people affiliate marketing isn't passive also, but where it can, because passive income is sort of a misleading concept to a degree out there. But where affiliate marketing can be passive is with those SaaS tools, those cloud-based tools for business that do pay residual. They do pay monthly. So that is passive. Now, of course, that client could drop, but if you refer them 20 or 30 clients, that could be a couple thousand a month residual. Absolutely passive. So with the B2B SaaS tools, that is where the passive affiliate opportunity lives, and other subscription services on the consumer side. But a lot of the e-commerce sites are one-off sales, and you're not going to get the residuals there. So there is a distinction there that's very important for people to understand, that you should probably be angling for the residual affiliate opportunities.
Absolutely. Residual is absolutely where it's at. The only time that I've played in one-times, and this goes back years before, because Amazon removed affiliate program from the state of Missouri for several years, so I lost my affiliate and had to get it back. But I sold quite a few Yamaha pianos. I used to own YamahaPiano.com, I would sell high-ticket items. So the trick on affiliate is if it's one time, it better be super high-ticket items.
High-ticket,
it can't
That's
be
true.
low-ticket items. And you just, at the end of the day, my advice, and I mean, you can do this as a business totally, is build single web pages on very niche products that just have 10 or 20 different affiliate links. That, I think, is a model that can work, and it does work very well.
It can work, and that's something you can buy clicks to. You can, like Bing ads, low cost targeted search. If you had a page on your site listing all the affiliate products for the piano and the coupons included, for instance, let's say it was pet food, all the best, pet food brands with coupons, or pianos, whatever it may be. That's what you would buy, something like, Yamaha piano coupons, dog food coupons. People that are already looking for the brand, but also maybe looking for a coupon, you can direct them to your page, and it's a higher likely click to sale ratio. But that's all. It's still dicey, but that's a more targeted way. And I've made that work in the past. I've done that.
Yes, I've made that program work. I have occasionally made very, and this is just advice for the audience out there, through my life, and I've probably done this thousands of times, trying to figure out how to make a large amount of money with very little effort, right? I try to do that all the time. Get an affiliate and then just build a Google ad for it. Sometimes you can pull that off, but it's short-lived, because if you figured it out, before anybody else, if you happen to be that lucky, somebody's going to be right on your coattails, and they're going to figure it out the next day, and they're going to take you out with a bigger budget or a slightly better word.
Right, and there are a lot of affiliates that will bid like on the company's name. Like, they'll bid on the company's name with coupon code. Right. That's where you can do pay-per-click, and make it work. But a lot of companies don't allow that, or they only allow a certain amount. So, but you can make it work if you find that phrase, that magical phrase, that no one's using. That's cost effective. One thing that makes me think of is, a lot of people I've seen posting on LinkedIn recently about how, both Facebook and Google's ad costs have increased a lot, which isn't actually true. It is to a degree, but Google's costs are reasonable now. Pay-per-click search.
Right.
They're not sky high like they were.
Depending on your product or service.
Yeah, depending on your niche, but some competitive niches, $1 a click, $1.50. If you can get Google targeted search for $1 in the dollar range, you can't complain about that at all.
Right.
And you need to be able to make that work. And if you can't make it work, then there's a problem there. It means you haven't tried hard enough to make it work with the right tools, adding to the website, engagement, CTAs. One of my backgrounds is conversion rate optimization, which is making the website itself convert more clicks into sales or leads. Right. And then there's landing page optimization, which is doing A/B testing on the landing page elements themselves, like the headline, call to action, images, to make the actual landing page convert more traffic into sales or leads. So that's a discipline that I work with all my clients. Every company I work with, I insist that they allow me to do that with and they're usually on board.
Right.
Why wouldn't you be? But it's a little bit of a process. It's adding the right tools and widgets to the website, the right automations. Design it has to be great, but it's only, in my opinion, like 30% of the fight.
Right.
You need the right tools to capture the data, to send automated follow-ups, to chat, things like that, the right tools and widgets.
I've had some really ugly websites that converted really, really well. And I've had beautiful websites that I look at like, man, this is beautiful. I love this. And and it's crickets forever. And then just garbage websites that sell like hotcakes. So there's a lot of psychology that can go into that.
Yeah, design is, like I said, it's one aspect. A lot of people kind of focus on, I need to have an amazing look, aesthetically amazing website. Yes, it has to look good, but there are so many elements within that have to be analyzed. The imagery, the psychology of the headline.
Right.
Headline testing to find the right headline that converts the best. What you throw up there initially, or even redesign and put up there, isn't necessarily what the users are going to vibe with. It was going to be most effective with the users coming there. You have to do things like monitor their behavior on the site. Tools like Hotjar, Lucky Orange, they can monitor the visitors' behavior. Try to remove some anonymity from your site behavior so you understand what's going on there and can fix those things. And that's an underutilized, approach that's highly effective. But people need to know that are even thinking about spending money to drive traffic to their website. Don't do that unless your website has been improved upon and you've added tools to it. It's mostly, a lot of it is tool based. If you just have a two-dimensional website up there, without tools, it's not going to be good enough ever. So you have to continually be looking to add tools, chat widgets, pop-ups. A lot of it's pop-up oriented. I'm not even going to, sugarcoat it, but customer reviews are very big. With e-commerce, there's certain tools and widgets that always work. Social proof, Evan in Fort Lauderdale just bought this piano. You can show that in a little widget in the bottom corner. The right spinning wheel pop-up, spin to win your discount, capture most information. And then they send automated email follow-ups to the people that abandon the site without purchasing. So you have to, and then they should see the retargeting ads. When they leave the site without purchasing, you see the ads following you around Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the web, YouTube, multi-platform retargeting campaigns. That's another underdone thing. But the caveat there is, it's a necessity, but where companies miss the boat is the budgeting, right? What I've really learned, and just recently I've kind of had a realization that you need to be on all the platforms retargeting, but just at a low budget. It could be $20 a day, $10 a day, 30, depends how much traffic the site gets. If it's a high traffic site, the budgets will need to be higher, but a lower traffic site or a moderate traffic site, you could literally be running $10 a day on Facebook and Instagram retargeting and get an effect out of it. Ad roll for the web, Google, YouTube, just $10 a day on each platform. Pinterest, you can retarget on, TikTok. So multi-platform, I believe in utilizing every platform simultaneously, but with the right budgets and the right ads and the right, strategy on each platform.
Right.
So that's a very, you have to get that right. And it's not easy, but it's doable.
I've got two things really quick. One, you were talking about headline testing, and literally mid-June, I released a series of 7 videos on the online sales process. And one of the days I have on there building your headlines and five tactics for building your headlines. And that's on there, and we'll link to it. So testing different headlines is vital, and having a way to create different headlines is there. And we've got a worksheet. It's downloadable, and we'll put the link in there and everything for the people that are just trying to do that on their own. Obviously, you can reach out to Evan for help or me for help on that topic as well.
Yeah, headlines are there's a couple different types. They're the ones that are in the ads themselves. that are very, very important and critical because the more clickable the ads are, the lower the cost per click on average will be. So it's really important to have super compelling ads, ad creatives, and the headlines. The headlines, so you have to, and like Facebook, Google, they'll tell you which headlines work best after some time. So you should have multiple headlines in your ads that are, catching, they're very, impactful, hopefully. But that's a tough thing to get right. So I want to check out your stuff.
Yeah.
And then on the landing page, there will likely be a headline, and that headline has to be very impactful. But here's the thing: it has to be A/B tested against 4 or 5 other headlines simultaneously with like Google Optimize. That's what I use for. It's free A/B testing on the landing page element testing, super easy, super simple. Now you have to have a fair amount of traffic coming through the A/B test to see the results, right? You might have to have 500 to 1,000 clicks, minimal to really know which headline worked definitively. Sometimes it's one that's just jumping out as the clear winner. So what it does is it ties the headlines to your Google Analytics goals. So if your goal is to contact us, if it's a sale, whatever the goals are, it corresponds to the headlines. And at the end, it'll say, headline B1, headline C, and then you can go make that permanent on the site. And with that headline running, you're going to get a 25% increase over what it was previously because that headline worked 25% better or what. Sometimes it works twice as good. These type of A/B tests are extremely undervalued and underutilized, but the impactfulness is undervalued out there.
I can tell you not just the headline, but the content, right? And I'd like to switch gears and talk a little bit about email. Sure. I know that in my email life, similar to headlines, I've literally changed one line inside of an email and gone from 1% response rate to 10% response rate.
Yeah.
A lot of the world is saying email marketing is dead, but some of the richest people I know are some of the best email writers on the planet. So I'd love to know your take on email marketing today for either cold, obviously the follow, right? There's fortune in the follow-up. And once you get a lead, you want to follow up with it through email and you want to have an awesome email string there.
Yeah.
But what about cold outreach for email to get that process started, specifically for the affiliate world?
Great question. Email is a very, multifaceted topic because you got your B2B email and you got, the lead follow-up drip email sequences, which workflows and stuff. And then you've got, just cold outreach, like you said. Cold outreach can work if it's done really well. If it's not done really well, it's just flat out annoying and won't work. And I see mostly bad cold outreach because I get a lot of cold outreach. But I see some good and I see some all right. What I do is I respond back to them sometimes. I'm like, you really need to make this shorter or, things like I try to give them little feedback items or your subject line wasn't that great or, or the text was too small. Like there's always little issues with that damn cold outreach.
Right.
But I do think it can work for sales, but I also like manual outreach. I like a lot of manual outreach. So both can be done B2B. Now B2C.
So what do you consider the difference between cold outreach and manual outreach?
Well, cold outreach can be automated or manual. Cold outreach can be automated or manual. There are tools that are, designed for cold outreach on a workflow basis,
Right. Our relationship was founded on a cold outreach.
Yeah, exactly.
I found you on LinkedIn and sent you an email.
Right. Exactly.
Totally
So was that done manually or was it automated?
There's manual steps in the process and non-manual steps in the process. Okay. So there's the way I have an automated system that says, hey, here's people that might be good. And then we manually go through them and weed some of them out pretty quickly.
Even if you're going to use an automated like a tool that sends multiple emails all at once that are personalized, you still have to screen the contacts heavily. You have to make sure that the list is very, very clean And if
Right.
you put the list together manually, then you can pop it into an automated outreach platform. You can have a high confidence level. It's going to go down well.
Right.
If you don't use that process, no, I don't recommend it, because you're going to piss people off it's just going to bring stress to your life.
Right.
Now, salespeople don't give a crap, but people like us probably would.
I do, right?
Yeah, we do. People running a company, people, now if you're an SDR or, sales development representative, and you're just but still you need to do it with a lot of good process. Now, there are a lot of good tools out there to help find the contacts, to help blast them. There's one called Postaga, Postaga. That does affiliate. It can do affiliate recruiting or any type of mass outreach. Actually, it does mass outreach, and they have a way of cleaning the list in the tool. And then you put the emails together and it starts going out.
Right.
Fabulous tool. And I actually just became aware of it a couple months ago. It's called Postaga. Seamless AI. I like Seamless AI.
I didn't care for Seamless.
No? Well,
I was a very early adopter, though. I was in their beta group, and it didn't go too well for me, and I have not given them another chance.
Well, exactly, because for what I'm using it for, it's working great. But it depends on the project and the type of contacts, and
Right.
It's all just a matter of how good their data is for the type of contacts you're looking for. But as far as, a lot of these companies, I don't like when they sort of lock you into a contract for a year. But it is what it is. Some tools, that's just how they operate.
Right.
If there's value there, I believe it's worth it. But tools, like I said, tools is where it's at. Utilizing tools as a company, creating tools as a business idea. When anyone asks me what they should go into in the internet industry, I tell them build a tool, a business to business tool. Yes. Figure one out and build it. There are over 10,000 tools out there now, SaaS tools, software as a service. And we're only getting started, baby. There's plenty of room. I'm
really digging these micro tools right now. Like these, and I think they're going away. So I think they're short lived, like the Chrome plugins that do specific stuff. I think Chrome's getting rid of plugins.
I haven't heard anybody that yet. Chrome plugins are great. Chrome extensions. Yeah. Chrome, a lot of the biggest affiliates are actually Chrome extensions.
Right.
Ebates, Rakuten Ebates, Honey, Wikibuy. The list goes on and on. All the biggest affiliates out there that are e-commerce oriented, big brands, they're browser extensions, because they're to a degree capitalizing on the website's inherent traffic.
Yes.
Because that's what the browser extension does. When you go to, Macy's.com, it says save 10% on Macy's, click here. And then you click there, the affiliate gets great. So that's one type of affiliate. There are companies that are based entirely on the affiliate marketing concept. It's just not exactly simple or easy to get into that and do it as a company, but companies do it.
Right.
They do it. And I marvel at them, and I, applaud them. And I work with a lot of them. So I know what they're capable of, and it's big things, huge things. Right. Yeah.
So let's take a giant turn, right? So you're working for a firm, you start your agency's still running. Now you're going to build a tool. Yeah. Right. And your advice to anybody out there that wanted to get started would be to build a tool for B2B. But that's really, for some people, for me, I'm like, yeah, let's go do it. Let's figure it out. But for most people, it's like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Right. So where would you start in that process for, I have nothing. I'm going to build it. I'm going to build this tool. And let's make believe they have an idea already, right? They have an idea that they're going to build a tool that's going to save companies lots and lots of money.
So let's use a real example. So I just spoke to a friend of mine who he was working for Amazon as like a logistics manager. And he left there because it was a nightmare. We won't get into that. But I talked to him the other day because I told him, I said, if you have any business ideas, I'm happy to talk with you about it. If you want to build a tool, I just build a tool. I think tools are. So he's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I have an idea in my mind for like this tool that the employees will use to improve their skills with process. right? So I say, as long as it has to be a subscription tool. The company would use it with certain amount of seats per company per month, and you bill them per month. And it has to be a tool of that nature, because that's, where the residual revenue is at. And so we had this conversation, and I started like investigating, because I knew nothing about this niche, like process, in the warehouse. I know absolutely nothing about that, inefficiency. Not that tool isn't specifically for that, but there's a lot of process oriented stuff that people in corporate do in different departments. Sigma Lean or whatever, Sigma 6 Lean. And so it's around teaching people those concepts with the tool. So yeah, we had a great conversation around that. And I told him to, investigate it a little more, crystallize, how do you want it to work? Think about how, the staff people would utilize it. And I can have it built. I know how to build these tools now, or a tool. So now that I've been through this process, it would be easier to create the next one and the next one and the next one. So yeah, so that's kind of what I told him. Now, as far as costs for a thing like that, you are talking tens of thousands. You are definitely talking tens of thousands. If you get it done with the right resources offshore, you get it done for tens of thousands, right? Now, I don't recommend just going and trying to find a company to do that. You have to get a recommended company. And I have a company, and I'm happy to recommend anyone that wants to look into a thing like this to my firm, my development firm. But when you do a project like this, you have to really spec out the whole, project, the dashboard, how it'll work when they log in, what tools it'll have in the dashboard, the tabs and the functionality. And once all of that's figured out, and how you want it to work, how the billing, how you want to bill people. And really, there's things like sending automated messaging, and, there's a lot of things go into building the actual thing, more things than I thought ever would before I went through the process myself. But now that I have, I grasp what's entailed. So that's what I'd say there.
It's tough. It's really challenging. And I've done, I've been involved in software packages that sold for millions of dollars, and I've also lost millions of dollars building software.
Right.
I think if you're going to start that, I think the book the two books that I really recommend, one is The Lean Startup, just understanding, getting out a minimal viable product and getting feedback from your customers and making changes from there. I've got a story. I owned a site called BehindTheLyrics.com, and it was doing great for a long time, right? I had this database of lyrics, and people could come on, and I had the great idea to make it better one day. And I spent thousands of dollars on programming to add all these new features, and we launched them, and the traffic went to almost zero instantly, because my perception of what the world wanted and what the world actually wanted were two different things. So
well, it isn't, to your point, it is important to do something that or have a strong likelihood will work and succeed. See, I've been doing this a long time, and I grew a little weary of the agency game. I'm still enjoying it, and I do a lot of consulting, and I
just really saturated right now.
Yeah, no, I don't even, it doesn't even, if saturate, it doesn't affect me, because I get referrals, clients just come to me, just from all the content I've put out there over the years. So luckily that's finally happening. So it's not that I'm like duking it out with other agencies. It's just, I have to deliver for all of them always. Right. And I have to make sure delivering, results are being delivered. So it's always every new it's a project, it's a challenge, and that's what I thrive on. But nonetheless, imagine, trying to, do effective digital marketing for 300 companies, in 5 years, or actually 15 years, but doing it, I'd say, for like 40 or 50 companies a year, like driving their whole digital strategy and managing all the ad campaigns and working with their in-house teams. So, dude, I crush it. But that being said, and I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. And I get a lot of gratification from delivering results and working with the in-house people and making them more effective, and working with me. They benefit, and we work together, we brainstorm, we collaborate. It's a beautiful thing.
Right.
and they love me. So I get a lot of, gratification from that, but I had to build a tool because I needed the residual revenue. And that's just what it boiled down to. And so that's why I recommend tools with residual revenue or some kind of subscription service. I've seen a lot of, B2C subscription services, box delivery companies, all types of subscription services, vape subscriptions, different types of product subscription, a lot of different type of subscription. I like subscriptions almost as much as SaaS tools. But I do like SaaS tools most. That's what I tell everyone. I think that's where the money's at. And I think if you invested 30, it'll probably cost 30 to 50 grand to build a killer SaaS tool. You can build a lightweight one for 10. Right. You know what I mean? It just won't do much. You won't be able to sell it for much. But I wanted to build something I could charge, a few $100s a month for, or a few thousand a year for, and get some nice revenue out of it.
Right.
But you do have to have like an idea that businesses need, right? It helps businesses do something, and look at the other ones out there. This is what I tell people: go on LinkedIn. There's the SaaS, SaaS, the SaaS community. Right. Well, a lot of the viewers, your listeners, they may not really be like into the SaaS thing. It's been going on about 10 years, but it's really exploded in the last 2 or 3 years. It's gotten huge. Right. So if they go on LinkedIn and search anything SaaS, they will unlock and start following some pages and some groups and some people. They'll start unlocking what that world really entails. And then they'll start seeing the different tools, who's doing what. There's a cool thing called micro acquired, which helps SaaS tools get acquired. This guy, Andrew, I'm
on micro acquire about an hour a day.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so much great content out there in SaaS. There's a concept called product-led growth, where basically just the product sells itself and you don't really need a lot of salespeople. So, but that's where it's at. So, the process of making my tool, my product, sell itself when the user signs up, and then it should just convert them into a paid user without much human effort at all. But some people do want demos. Some people do want walkthroughs, and you should absolutely be willing to jump all over it and give that. So I've learned a lot in the process. I do think there's a lot of, other jobs in digital marketing, pay-per-click management, social media management, affiliate management, a lot of different jobs and positions in digital marketing that are totally in demand. So there's a lot of, if you want to work for a company and do something for them, like that. But I do like the entrepreneurial thing, but not everyone has that, drive. Let's just call it.
Seems like more people are today than ever before.
Well, a lot of people think they want it.
Yes.
But they don't really know. They're so, in my opinion, kind of brainwashed by society into thinking 9 to 5 is all they're capable of doing, or all they should be doing, right? All they physically, mentally should be doing is working 40 hours a week. I don't think that's going to get it done as an entrepreneur. No. That's my opinion.
Not even close.
Now, I see people out there, if you figure out how to make money very efficiently as an entrepreneur and you can work 40 hours and blow it up, more power to you. I've seen people that work 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week, and they're very, very successful. But then I see a lot of people, most of them, I'd say 95% of entrepreneurs grind like 50 to 60 or 70 hours a week to really make it happen.
For me, it's more about I love the work more than anything else. Like I enjoy doing the stuff that I'm doing. So, my 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, I'm just having fun. Right? I mean, I totally what else
agree.
would I be doing? Watching Netflix? I don't want to do that.
But it's still work. You're still sitting there in a chair. Your back hurts after a while. It's not, there are things about, sitting here working. Trust me, I'm not complaining about sitting here working. It's a blessing to be able to sit on a computer and work. No one should complain about that. But the physical act of doing it for 10 or 12 hours a day can wear on you. It can
I
wear
have to
on
have
you
multiple
mentally.
companies to do. Like, 'cause
Right.
I change, I go to different buildings, like all that stuff, right?
That's important to move
yes.
around, to keep it moving, keep it. But I agree. We're lucky if you can actually say you enjoy working, you have fun working, then you're a blessed individual, in my opinion, because not a lot of people can say that. Like, who can say that? LeBron James, Steph Curry, professional athletes, people who get paid a lot, giant piles of money for, playing a sport or doing something, they love.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, other people that work, they don't love that. They don't love it. But what I tell people too is, you don't necessarily need to have a business around your passion. You can have passion for making money in some type of business. You don't have to love that type of business as long as it makes money, like the type of money you really want to make. You can have passion just for the simple act of making money through that business. You don't have to love that business. Now, that might get old. That still might get old after a while, which, like, running my agency has gotten old after a while. Even though I love it and I enjoy it, it's still, sometimes it's not that I dread anything about it, but it's just monotonous to a degree, I guess you could say.
Yes.
I mean, within just doing this, right? It's always different and always fresh. I love consulting. That when I can consult with a company, whether it be a startup or a medium or a big company, I can always make some significant impact. That's gratifying. It's just the company is giving me a chance.
Right.
One of my biggest frustrations is, I have a lot of amazing LinkedIn connections. I have phenomenal connections. I built up, like, founders, CEOs, and everyone else in between, of just amazing people. And they don't really hit me up to have me work on their stuff for them. Right. They know I'm out here grinding. They know the kind of content I'm putting in front of them is highly expert oriented and practical, strategy oriented stuff, but they're not necessarily hitting me up saying, Evan, I really need my LinkedIn ads managed. Evan, I really need my Google ads managed. Evan, I need my Facebook ads managed. Even though I've said I do these things. So, but they do here and there, just nowhere near what you would think they would do. Right. So I still haven't figured that one out. But like I said, I get referrals. People pop up every day. Like, I want to talk about working with you, so like I said, I can't complain. I've worked with a lot of actual affiliate marketers over the years.
Right.
My agency clients pay me, and I basically get to work with them for free. All the affiliates, hundreds of thousands of them. I've spoken to tens of thousands on the phone over the years.
Right.
Just having a conversation about their website, how to improve it, how to get more traffic, how to place the ads properly, how to send email blasts properly, HTML. So I've been doing that for 15, 20 years, and I continue to do that. And I'll probably always do that as long as I'm doing this, because I enjoy doing it and no one can do it like me. So I kind of have to do it to a degree. And I enjoy doing it. So that's the most important thing.
Wheelhouse on the affiliates for sure with the new product launch. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Do you have any specific tools that you use that help you get your software built?
What a great question. Well, let me just say that I have a partner on this project who is a software engineer.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So my partner is a software engineer, and I have another smaller partner who also is a old school programmer. And they did a lot of the back end framework, relying to the hosting and the API creation and setting it all up. And my offshore dev team did a lot of the building of the product.
Right.
So
Okay.
I had both of those, and because I had my partner kind of overseeing. Not that, I mean, they did a lot on their own. The dev team, they sure enough, banged it all out. And when you work on a project like, but without my partner, it wouldn't have gone as well as it did. And I probably would have spent more, and it probably would have taken longer. But so to just think you could bring in an offshore dev team and have them build a product is risky. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is, but it's you got to find the right one. So they have to be recommended. You can't just go find one. They have to be recommended somehow that like they're actually capable of building the type of tool you need in a relatively, short period of time, say 6 months to a year, for a relatively affordable price. Boom. As long as you can find that, then you might have a chance to but if anyone has any ideas out there, I'm happy to, go over it with them, tell you what I think. I jump on the phone every day with people, just giving them my feedback and getting absolutely nothing out of it myself. Just being that person they can talk to about their idea and their project, so they don't go down the wrong path or get led down the wrong path. I hate to see that happen.
Right.
So whether they can utilize me or not is maybe. But I'm happy to, give them all the free advice I could possibly muster.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that very much appreciated. And we've got your contact information, website. We'll throw that all in the bottom of the screen. So if anybody wants to reach out to Evan, they can communicate that. I've got 2 pieces of advice for that. One, I've got a Google sheet that I'll share out that is just a list of tasks and priorities, prioritizing it. For smaller projects, it's great. And then for larger projects, I use a tool called Asana to help me manage.
Sure.
Manage
yeah,
those
Trello.
tasks.
I use Trello for project management.
Right.
Asana is good for task completion management.
Right.
Is essential. Slack is good for communicating on the project, or Skype. The tools again.
Yes.
Tools
my
are
biggest cost ever. Well, other than a bad contract, I wrote a bad contract once that lost me lots and lots of money. But on building the software, it's scope creep. And it's add this feature, add this feature, add this feature, and not really clarifying what your minimal viable product is. And the more effort you put on that front side of listing out your features and what you were talking about, the layout of the screen and all those things, will save you so much time and money in the long run. It's worth that initial effort to put it in there.
That in itself is tough, because you when you do work with developers, you have to be very specific with what you're asking for. You can't assume anything. You can't assume that they'll know that they have to add a period into the sentence, or that the box will be this way, or you have to tell them every little thing. But if you do that, it will go well. It'll go better.
Yes.
So once you know how to work with teams like that, that can take some time to acclimate to. But again, you have to have the right solution, the right team. Yes. Don't go out there and just try to find one.
There's almost always a language barrier, so you better
there's always an accent you have to deal with. They work at night when you're working during the day, so you might have to stay. I stay up at night. Every week I'm up every Monday at midnight having our weekly call with our offshore team. And how long have I been doing this? 20 years? Dude, that's just what it takes, because I have a startup now. And but I do that, I'm different anyway. I work a lot. I like working. I do
Monday
like working.
Midnight calls, right? That's what it takes. And people need to hear that, because if they want to get into this game.
I totally agree. But back to, having a viable idea. You have to go add an idea that has a strong likelihood of being successful and profitable. Finding the right business that's actually profitable enough is another challenge, key thing. A lot of people start businesses and the profit margins aren't high enough. They're doing all this revenue with a freaking 10% profit margin. It's not going to get it done. So profit margin on the business is a critical thing you have to look at. And just whether it can be done online, how well, and there are other things, I have I did a presentation, 10 ways to make money online, a presentation at a conference that I made like a video for, and a whole document, corresponding document, lead generation, affiliate. There's 10 ways in there that anyone could actually make money online. And one of them is tools, software, but there are other ways they're all. I just think software and tools is where it's at, because I've seen so many companies become extremely successful in a relatively short period of time doing that.
Yes.
So that's
it's
just
huge.
what it boils down to. That's just what it boils down to. I see it all around me. So I had to jump into it finally.
If I didn't have a subscription-based service in 2000, I would not be able to do the things that I'm doing today. There's just,
Right.
I don't think I could have funded it otherwise. Right. So
Yeah.
recurring services, the more you can own it, in my opinion, the better.
Yeah.
Because you can defend your position much better if you own the entire infrastructure and everything. But that's not always possible. So
Right.
it is what
Oh,
it is.
you know,
Do what you
sometimes
can.
I tell people, you have to go to work for a company or in the industry first to get a sense of how companies do things. Like if you want to start an insurance portal or insurance app or tool, you
Right.
might have to go work for a company that has one and try to get on board, or, and that's where a lot of ideas can come from. Or just go work for a company in the internet industry, or, some type of internet-based company. Then you'll just by being on LinkedIn, you'll come across some tools. You'll be like, oh, that's what Evan was talking about. I could build a tool like that, like SEM Rush, like Ahrefs, like Content King. I mean, like I said, there's 10,000 tools out there. And guess what? They're all having subscribers.
Yes.
So that's the beautiful thing. But I built mine because I knew companies needed this, right? And I built it how I thought they would need it, because this is how I need it.
Right.
So that I had the advantage of, I know my tool is going to be successful because that I'm going about it like that. Not everyone really has that. But if you are at a company or you're in this industry or that industry, think tool, think software,
Right.
But it can't be too niche either. Can't be too niche. If it's like for these people at this type of company and there's only 1,000 of them out there in the world, then no. Right. Then no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't overly niche.
Right. Right. So yeah, the toolkit. But as far as everything else, we gave it all to them in this podcast.
Absolutely.
Everything they need to go get it done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today, Evan. I very much appreciate it. I know you're super busy. Is there anything you'd like to leave the audience with before we go?
Oh, not really. I mean, just go follow my content. Feel free to ask me any questions about your projects, your ideas, your job at your company, how to do it more effectively. I'm more than happy to, have those conversations. So
right.
Just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me.
That's it for today's show, folks. If you'd like to join my text line community, the number is 314-370-2871. All you have to do to join that text line is send me any question about business or technology. I'll do all the research and I'll give you an absolutely free, totally unbiased answer. Get to work.